I think I met you about 2 years ago. And for me, moving to Sandefjord, it was a bit tricky to find anyone to meet up with. It was a bit tricky to find friends. And I saw this group on Facebook. And LIizz was in charge of the group, and I thought, okay, why not just give it a go and see what this is all about. And I met this amazing woman. She was just so sparkly, happy, creative, and that was my first meeting with you. And you blow me away with your personality, I have to say. I think you're such a strong personality, but I think that for me to have you here is really amazing. So you asked me if I maybe could come to your studio to see your work, and we could talk about which paintings to put into your exhibition. And the moment I stepped in the door, I saw all these women hang, everyone on the canvas, and they were all looking at me. And I said to LIizz, there's no question, you need to bring in your women. Because all of these women has a story to tell. And you put a small description on each of the painting, and I think it's beautiful because they tell a story, so it's wonderful. And I think quite a few of them represent something within us. So maybe some of you will recognize yourself in some of these paintings. So please have a look and please read the stories because they're wonderful. And also I think, this is the part of what's going on in the society right now. There's been a lot of focus lately about how women, how we look at women in the society today. So I think it's really on time. It's just, there's a lot of questions being raised lately, and for me, as a woman myself, this is an important question, so I think it's really appropriate to have this exhibition here. So I'm really proud of that. So LIizz, You bring me, you know, on really highs, and then sometimes I get a bit frustrated because you have a strong personality and I don't always agree with you. But I think that's brave, and I think that makes you a real artist. So congratulations with your instrument. And I do have a small flower for you, and I thought, you know, I'm going to buy her a different kind of flower because I wanted it to be a bit of creative flower, and I wanted to show all the different, you know, like all the petals represent you and how, you know, versatile you are as a person. So I thought it had to be that flower.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Så jeg må få lov til å si at det er veldig spennende å stå her i dag og vise arbeidet mitt. Det tok lang tid å komme hit, og det er virkelig et gjennombrudd for meg. Og jeg setter stor pris på at dere alle er her. Tusen takk. Jeg må få takke Elizabeth for å hjelpe meg med å sette alt dette på plass, og oppfordre meg til å presentere mine damer. Jeg er veldig takknemlig for dette. Jeg trengte litt press for å komme i gang. Også jeg vil takke Bjørn fra Mesterhammer, han er ikke her, men hvis butikken er nedenunder. Han har vært veldig hjelpsom med å gi råd og lage rammer som har sett arbeidet mitt på et annet nivå. Og til slutt må jeg takke Are, mannen min, som har støttet meg uselvisk på alle måter. Tusen takk, Are. Jeg kunne ikke gjøre dette i dag, uten din kjærlighet. Ja. So breaking through. This is an exhibition about the rise of the sacred feminine, demanding to be seen in my soul. She has been there for always, but it's only now that I really feel her influence pulsating in me. It is now that I begin to understand the necessity of such a powerful energy breaking through at this time in our planet's history. She's been knocking on my door for years. I heard her, but I never really let her in. Well, now I've opened the door. I believe it's time to acknowledge her presence and to work with this eternal feminine impulse that is rising world over. We need to know who she is. We need to understand the wisdom she carries. We need to tap into her cosmic intelligence. My ladies, my feminine archetypes, my personal icons have all asked to be birthed during this time of inner revelation and outer expression. Some I've been working on for over 2 years or more, and some have showed themselves only in the last few months. Indeed, I finished one only last week. We are living in a time of transition. The old ways of being are no longer applicable. Materialism has become our God. The spiritual aspect of being human, so often denied, is at a crucial turning point. Finding our own individual path is not easy. Remaining on it and remaining authentic in the face of opposition is also very difficult. So breaking through on one level is all about overcoming my personal demons and connecting with the sacred, the divine. Patriarchal dogma, particularly that of a religious kind, has always stood in my way. Consequently, I have resisted this pathway. By avoiding religious dogma, I also cut myself off and disconnected from the sacred feminine, which in turn stopped me meeting the cosmic Christ. This inherent dislike of patriarchal dogma has really kept me veiled from the goddess. On another level, breaking through is to do with my life's journey, which has not been easy, presenting me from an early age with depression, dysfunction, and many struggles that have had to be overcome. Recognizing my own self-worth being just one of them. Death has been my companion. I have had to push through a lot of debilitating shadows, always breaking through one thing or another. In my late 20s, I became involved with an esoteric school, which put me on the path of becoming a truth seeker. This set me in the right direction to understanding the nature of being human. Such beliefs as reincarnation and the law of karma became truths for me. They resounded deeply within, and even though I was not always able to be fully present and uphold these beliefs, they have always been there in the background. Once I found myself on this pathway, it was impossible to go in any other direction. Although at times the path deviated and the way got confused, my ever-open mind and the willingness to change viewpoint and follow the compass settings kept me heading in the right direction. Once I was on this path, circumstances and synchronicity guided me and presented situations that had to be dealt with. Denial was not an option. The death of my daughter in October 1996 was one of these circumstances that offered a huge spiritual opening for me. It gave me great insights into the nature of death, and that consequently leads you into life. Her dying reaffirmed beliefs that I had previously held only on an intellectual level, beliefs I had only read about. It was a really difficult time, but something of deep significance shined through during the enormous grief and loss I felt, enabling me to go deeper into the meaning of love. And what is, I guess, really important, that it was after her death that I was compelled to make art. I couldn't stop. When Ada, my partner, and I met again for the second time, something really shifted in me. I knew I had found someone, something I was seeking. Ada was the most spiritually aware person I had ever encountered, and suddenly I was engaged with all kinds of deeper understandings and answers I had been seeking. It was by no means easy, not at all. We did not always see eye to eye, and we still don't at times. But I was getting what I needed to delve deeper and push forward, heading towards yet another breakthrough in my spiritual life. I moved to Norway in 2011, and life with Ada and his knowledge of anthroposophy and the spiritual world gave me a wider meaning of existence. It also gave me my own painting studio. Definitely no chance of denial now. It was during 2015, amidst all my resistance against religious patriarchy, that I found the mother, the sacred feminine. I cannot tell you how much of a relief this was for me. She had been around for many years, but she had kept herself veiled, well hidden. I was not ready to lift her veil, not ready to own her, but now I am, wholeheartedly. You will see that most of my paintings contain a symbolic heart, a rose, or birds. This is all very deliberate. They all play a great part in my life. I have a particular warm feeling towards birds, both physically and symbolically, and have been involved with several projects involving them and the nature of flight and what that means in a symbolic sense. The name of my daughter who died was Rosie, and she was particularly fond of drawing hearts. When she died, we donated her heart, and now there is a young man somewhere in the world who has her heart beating inside him. So understand that hearts are quite meaningful for me. Rosie was an incredible gift for all who knew her, and her death brought life in more ways than one. It was she who showed me what love is, hence a deeper symbolism of the hearts that are in the pictures. She taught me how to transform pain and sorrow, how to forgive, how to raise myself up to joy. Excuse me. It was through her dying that I learnt how in death of the physical body, the soul spirit lives on. I feel her presence often. She is with me still. In 2016, I by chance, read synchronistically, found an online painting course that led me directly to a meeting with the Divine Feminine. At the same time, I became deeply involved with the Holy Grail and its significance today. And these two influences now guide my life. So, who are these feminine archetypes and where do they come from? I must say my ladies don't come easy. They either come out from the ethers and gradually show themselves, or present themselves through a feeling and a demand to be seen immediately. It takes a lot of looking at them, allowing them to be, allowing what they want to come forth. Sometimes they hang around for months in places where I can see them. Sometimes they're out of sight, hidden, waiting for the right moment to be set in motion. Sometimes as a new impulse arises in me, they completely change in outlook. And just like women world over, they have many layers. One thing for certain is that they all require a certain boldness from me to make the marks and strokes, not knowing why I am doing it or what I am doing. I have to trust in the process and listen to what they are saying. As they come through, each bring their own message. What they represent is an outer reflection of an inner archetype, not just for me, but for everyone. They bring messages of hope, heartfelt kindness, and they ask deep, provocative questions. But most of all, they herald the emergence of the sacred feminine. This, I am very sure, is my soul's mission. And so here they are today, on display with their messages. Thank you very much. More dear friends, I'm surrounded by dear friends. I'm a doing some introduction.